All right, hello, I'm Dr. J.L. Hutchinson Jr., so name of my company is Dr. Hutch International. I just want to invite everybody just to come to listen to me talk about from my title tonight is From Birth to Death, and everything in between is life. I didn't want to write all that and get a bunch of chalk on my hand. What I do is that I've been in the real estate business for the past 15 years, and been very successful in the real estate business. Been able to get to a certain level. Just recently, don't worry about the dog. Just became 10% owner of 2 hospitals, and one in Northridge and the other one in the Pacific part of California. And we just took ownership today of a company called Benefriends, and we're 10% owners of that. Been able to own real estate, and in the bulk business. I'm in the bulk real estate business. That's the business where we buy from the banks and stuff like that. Everybody know what happened to Wall Street. A lot of people that was on Wall Street making a bunch of money. A lot of people left Wall Street. They took their money and they ran. And the person that walked away with the least amount of money was a secretary. She walked away with $20 million. So a lot of people in Wall Street pretty much robbed the economy. They say over $13.7 trillion was missing, disappeared. The only thing they talk about now is in public. They talk about the $700 billion that we gave to the different banks and stuff. But the reality is $13.7 trillion was given to Verizon, Walmart, all the big companies, McDonald's, all those companies that you see are on top. And we're faced with a lot of people that had great jobs, have lost those jobs. They're no longer employed. People that were making $200,000-$300,000, those people, $300,000 a year, those people are no longer employed anymore. And especially in the San Jose area, which is called Silicon Valley, they have a group of people that were in that quote-unquote middle class of $200,000 a year. Those people have gotten together and they have protested and been asking for investigations in regards to the economy, and also have networked to try to get jobs. And a lot of those people can't find jobs making that $200,000-$300,000 a year. I reside in Georgia, and Georgia has communities in the area called Gwinnett County, where they had booming real estate, houses, beautiful houses, custom-made homes, $300,000-$400,000 customized homes. And these houses were as much as $600,000-$700,000. Now those houses are less than $129,000. Vacant communities where people don't even live there. I'm about to move to Buckhead. The house that I'm purchasing is about $3.9 million. It's 13,000 square foot. Big house, nice community. But at the same time, it's not that many African Americans that actually live in that particular area. It's called Sarah Springs. That's the area that I'm moving into. It's a house that I've seen how they were building this beautiful, incredible house, but it's vacant. You know, they've been building on that house since 2006. It passed from hand to hand because people ran out of money to complete the projects. And the reason I'm saying all this is just to let you know there's another side of what's going on. You may be experiencing things in your life because you're at a certain level in your life, but understanding what I'm trying to do today, I'm going to give you an insight of things are great for those that do have money, because the gap between the rich and the poor has even widened, and nobody's going to come down, especially to the African American community, I like to call it the black community, and express what's going on and giving them an opportunity. I came to Cleveland. I was kind of disappointed, and I come to Cleveland because a year ago when I was here, I seen that things were moving, progressing. I seen a lot of real estate projects, Cleveland State University doing project, Cleveland Clinic. I was going to get involved with the project up here in regards to where Miles Driveway, Miles Theater Drive. Yeah, I was going to buy that project over there, and then got into some issues with the city in regards to permits. And it wasn't because of any of the permits, it was because of my color. Somebody said what color I was. So he said, hey, there's a black guy, got money, he's trying to do this. And then all of a sudden it was the roadblock. Before then, everything was okay. Same thing with the Value City building. Then they told me some pastor was going to buy it, some church was going to put something in there, but nobody's doing nothing in regards to that. And then I see in Cleveland a lot of buildings going on in the inner city, but they all government subsidized housing. So they bringing the projects into the inner city. Again, so, and what you see there is dumbing down and hurting people as far as economically, so people don't have any opportunity. This is the only city that I know that you can't sell T-shirts on the street. You know, in any other place, I lived in San Diego for over 20 years, and you can always make money going to the swap meet, doing a flea market, sell stuff in front of your yard and all that stuff. So people always have a means of surviving, even the homeless people. But as I travel, like I was in Chicago a few weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, and I see the same makeup in the black community. And just like in Georgia, just like in California, and I see is everything is done on purpose, because how could the same black community in different areas over the country all are subject to the same struggles, the same police riding around in the neighborhood, subjecting them to different things that they, you know, people just living their life. My brother was telling me that he got stopped because his license plate light wasn't working. You know, those little things like that. And I have handouts that I can give you basically via email. And I can tell you how the prison system works, how they like to make money, because everything in life is for a reason. Everything is for a reason. But based on from birth to death, I give you an understanding. Everything that's in between is life. And I'm going to show you some things, and you're going to be able to identify those things and put yourself in where you are right now. You can understand the pattern of life. And if I interject I'm going to interject some things into your mind, and then you're going to think, you're like, wait a minute, I could have did this, and this. It's things you never thought about. And what I'm going to be talking about is pretty much just like at the beginning, it's a mind jerker, and it basically gets you to think and start remembering things when you were growing up. We all started off as kids. You know, as far as kids, I always say from 0 to 17, we was basically, dealing with the parents, our parents, we had what? We had no job, so 0 to 17, you're like, well, it doesn't mean anything. I was just a kid. But you got to understand, to society, every kid that is born is worth money. If you didn't know that. Every kid is worth money. Have you ever seen people go and they get a kid, and the kid get born? Because I did. I was a teenage father. We took my son and we got life insurance. We're like, man, we got life insurance. You always heard get life insurance for kids. That's wrong. That's not the right thing to do. Because think about it. When you buy life insurance, if somebody was to die, you're going to replace their income. So if does a kid work? No, they don't have any income. So why would you get them life insurance? So now they have new things. So, well, now you can get the life insurance policy, but you get this life insurance policy for your kid, but it's for the college. That's not all kids go to college, especially black kids. They don't go to college. They created more prisons instead of what? Schools. Right. Yeah, so they don't expect an African American kid to go to college. But when a kid is born to America, that kid is worth $3 million. If you didn't know that. That's why you have the birth certificate. The birth certificate is worth money. if you didn't know that. So that's why if you ever have a kid and you go to the hospital and you refuse to sign the birth certificate, guess what? You have a problem. They're going to force you to sign the birth certificate because that's a check. Because we are in a society that looks at debt. You remember people always tell you, you're a debt to society. When a person dies, even a homeless person, he dies, he has no money. They value him as what is $10. $10. So when he dies, they tax 90% of your income. So 90% of his income is taxed. He's worth $1. Guess what? He's worth. After 90, you take away 90% of that. Guess what? It's 10 cents. Remember the story people always said? They said, you ain't worth a dime. That's true. That's what it really means. You're not worth the dime because when you check out, you are what? You ain't even worth a dime if you don't have anything. And that's why you go through probate. Going through probate, going through those different the different things in regards to your life, you are worth something. So 0 to 17, as a teenager, you don't think that you're worth anything. But during this time, we do this. This is what we do. I'm trying to bring this thing up. I got this right. We practice. Practice. Don't you practice when you play baseball? We practicing as becoming what? Adults. That's what we do. I remember my first time my mom gave me I was 17. She gave me a May company card that I had applied for. Didn't even know I had it. It came in the mail. She got the mail and she didn't tell me about it. Had it for about 3 months. And then she said, son, I think you're ready. And she gave me this May company card. And I got the May company card. It was a credit card. I knew nothing about credit. So she, not teaching me about credit, she said, well, you can go to May company. You can get this and this. So I went to May company. I bought some stuff. And I was just buying stuff. Because every time I went, they was like, shh. And I just walked away. I thought it was free. I didn't know I had to make a monthly payment. So one day I went there and I tried to swipe the card. And they said, denied. And I was like, what do you mean? Why I'm denied? It was working last week. And the lady said, you never even made your first payment. And I was like, she was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I didn't know I had to make a payment. So I had to make a payment. I went, made a payment. And that's how I learned that you have to make payments for credit cards. So me not knowing, I said, well, this is a credit card. I went to Radio Shack, wanted to buy me a computer and everything. I pulled out my May company card. And the guy was like, sir, you can't use that. I was like, this is my credit card. I said, here's my name. I was adamant. This is my name on it. He said, that's a May company card. He said, you need a Radio Shack card or a MasterCard or Visa or American Express. I said, what? What is that? And he said, well, fill out this application. I filled out the application. I got a Radio Shack card. Got me a computer, a Tandy. Got me a computer, and I was learning. So practicing being an adult and responsibilities as African Americans, as far as black people, sometimes we never get taught the right way to do things. We do things by trial and error. And that's why we came up with this term called shady. We said, oh, it's kind of shady. Because we really never knew how to do things correctly in the right way. Because our parents and our relatives and different friends and people in our lives never passed it down to us. Never. I always tell people the greatest way you can tell and show your love for your family, if somebody loves you, is plan your estate. When you get ready to die, you plan your estate. You pass things down to your children and your children's children. And you do it the right way. And then everybody will know, the whole host of the world would know that your parents or your grandparents really cared for you because they planned. And that's the key. And I learned that when I was a young man. I started my first business while I was 12 years old. And I was counting potato chips and Tootsie Rolls at the corner store. I embezzled a little because I love Tootsie Rolls. So, so I did commit a crime. I go to the corner store, I count the Tootsie Rolls and all that stuff and the potato chips and all that. I still even have my little notebook. But I was learning something. And one thing you do learn is you need a plan. You need a plan. A lot of people go to church and they say, wow, I love the Lord. Oh, Jesus, I love you. Oh, God. Everybody just screaming. I just love God. But one thing God always say, if you read Scripture, is plan. Plan. We plan birthday parties.